You've been asked to go to a doctor that's been hired by the other side, the insurance company, and they are calling it an independent medical exam, an IME. Don't fall for that because there's nothing independent about that medical exam. The doctor has been hired by the lawyer and the insurance company to defend the case that you've brought against them. There's nothing independent about it. The doctor knows that when they perform that exam, they may have to show up in court and testify to a jury as to what your physical conditions were at the time of the exam. And the purpose of that exam is for them to give a medical opinion about causation. Are the injuries that you claim, were they caused by the injury producing event, or the condition that you currently have and the residual problems that you currently have, are they from the underlying injury that you suffered in the injury producing event, or are they from natural aging? It's called degeneration. Knowing that there's nothing independent about it, I caution you to only answer questions because what I call a DME, not an IME, a DME is a defense medical exam. It's not an independent medical exam. The defense medical exam, when you go to that, remember the doctor who is examining you already has all of your medical records. And they are not permitted to ask you about how the event happened other than if it's related to how your injury happened. So they can ask if, for example, you've been in a car crash, they can ask where did the impact come from? Was it from the rear, from the side, from the front? So that they know and can project how your body moved as a result and what parts of your body may have been injured. If you fell, they can ask, where did you fall? Wanting to know, was it on a sidewalk? Was it hard? Was it grass? What is it that you landed on? But what they can't really start examining you about or questioning you about is, well, where were you looking? Why didn't you see what caused you to fall? Or how fast were you going leading up to the crash? It is not a second bite at the apple for the defense to perform a deposition of you. And I would encourage you to watch the video that I prepared related to a deposition. This is not their opportunity. It's a medical examination. It's not a deposition or examination before trial. So when you go to the defense medical exam, you do have to answer some basic questions about your physical condition at the time of the event. Please provide a full and complete history. With medical records and the electronic medical records, nothing is a secret anymore. If you have any prior medical care, make sure you disclose it because they will find it. The only time injured people get into challenges at trial is when they're not being truthful. And I just strongly encourage you to disclose all of your prior concerns or injuries because they will find it, and it makes it much easier for the lawyer to be able to address it because there's easily can be distinguished from before and from your existing event. So when you go to the defense medical exam, answer all of the questions and be polite, dress appropriately. No need to be combative or confrontational. And the doctor should perform a medically prudent exam. Now, you do have a right to have a second person in the room with you. You can request that a nurse or another medical provider be in that room. You need not be in isolation with this independent medical doctor or defense medical exam. Your lawyer may choose to send a representative with you. That is always the lawyer's prerogative, and they have an absolute right to send a representative to observe and participate, not physically in the exam, but just sit back and observe. And the lawyer's representative cannot inject any information into the exam. The sole purpose is really to make observations and take notes. And what that representative does, it generally holds the doctor accountable, because I've seen exams where a doctor may write an 8-page medical report, of which 4 pages suggest that he performed a full and complete medical exam. And then I've asked my client and said the medical exam was 30 seconds long. And all that doctor did, and what we've caught that doctor, because there are some doctors who are they make their entire living. They don't have a medical practice. All they do is work for insurance companies, and one after another, one exam after another, one exam after another. They use word processing, and they just take the exact same report, they change the name, and it's always the same outcomes. Now, there aren't too many of those doctors left, but they're still out there. So the independent person who comes and observes can write down, well, I went to that exam and it was a 30-second exam. Why is that important to have? Because if your case ultimately goes and there is a trial and that doctor takes the stand, and the doctor says, well, I did a full and complete medical exam, and I put my hands on the knees and the shoulders, and talks about a long exam, then it's called in rebuttal. The observer can come in and say, well, I was there and I took notes, and when I took notes, the whole exam was 30 seconds long. So it's a powerful weapon to have if a case is actually tried. But when you are at the independent medical exam, the defense IME, the defense medical exam, it's important to be respectful. The doctor cannot injure you. So if they're doing anything that is causing you pain or discomfort, you don't have to be subjected to that. You can tell them it's causing pain and discomfort and insist that they no longer proceed in that manner. But generally, these exams will last 15 minutes, and then they provide a report, and they provide that to your lawyer, and then the insurance company uses that report as the basis to suggest why they are keeping their offer low. But at the end of the day, most insurance companies realize a skilled trial lawyer can pierce right through that medical exam with a very effective cross-examination. And I'm going to give you a little insight as to the number one question that jurors find distasteful on cross-examination when deposing a defense medical exam. It's simply this. So, defense medical exam doctor, you performed this full examination of my client, right? Yes, I did. And in performing that full medical examination, you knew you may come here one day and have to tell this jury what your opinion is related to my client's claimed injuries. Yes, I did. And in doing so, you knew it's very important to do a full and complete examination, yes. And you knew it's important for you to be able to tell your opinion to this jury that you've reviewed all of the medical records, right? That's correct. So tell me, Mr. Defense Medical Exam, what did Dr. Smith, whoever the treating doctor, your treating doctor is, tell me what Dr. Smith said when you picked up a phone and called Dr. Smith to say you don't agree with what his medical findings were. And then he gets pale and looks at the jury. I didn't call Dr. Smith. Wait. You're a doctor, right? Yeah, that's true. And in the medical profession, you're sworn to do the best interest of your patients, right? Yeah. So why didn't you pick up a phone and call Dr. Smith? Oh, well, your client's not my patient. She's not your patient. Well, what does that mean? Well, she's not my patient. Well, does that mean you can come to this courthouse and say anything you want to this jury and have no liability for doing so? Because Dr. Smith has liability. If they give a diagnosis and they're wrong, they're subject to a medical malpractice case. But you're telling this jury, because my client's not your patient, you can say anything you want to this jury, and you didn't even call Dr. Smith to find out. You just knew what your opinion was, because there are no consequences if you're wrong. Isn't that right? And they can't say anything else. So a skilled lawyer who's been there before can tear apart a defense medical exam. What you need to do is be truthful and honest when you go to that exam, and let the lawyer take care of the rest.